Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Sometimes you don't even realize just how much a man is thinking about you. See, most guys, we're not walking around telling you every 5 minutes, I'm thinking about you, baby. No, that's not always how we work. But what we do is show it. And the thing is, when a man truly cares, when he's got you on his mind day and night, it slips out in ways you might not even be paying attention to. You just got to know where to look. You know, one thing I've learned over the years is that men and women speak two completely different love languages most of the time. Women are naturally better with words. You all can tell a man how you feel in detail. You can paint the picture. You can wrap it up with a bow, and we know exactly what's going on in your heart. Men, we're not wired the same way. We don't always walk around saying, I love you 20 times a day or writing long paragraphs about how we feel. But here's the truth. You can tell exactly how much a man loves you by the way he moves, by the actions he takes, by the choices he makes every single day. That's our language. You see, when a man really cares about you, it's in the way he shows up. He might not text you a novel, but he's going to make sure he checks on you. He'll be there when you need him, even if you didn't ask. That's not because he's just trying to pass time. That's because he's thinking about you, wondering if you're okay, wanting to make sure you got what you need. And the thing is, men don't invest their time and energy into people they're not serious about. Time is a man's most valuable resource. And if he's spending it on you, that's not by accident. It's also in the little details. A man who's in love is paying attention, even when you think he's not. You could be talking about your day, mentioning how your car's been making a strange noise, or how you've been craving that burger from your favorite spot, and he'll file that information away. Next thing you know, he's showing up with your favorite food or calling his buddy who's a mechanic to check on your car. That's action. That's his way of saying, I heard you, I value what you say, and I want to make your life better. And it doesn't stop there. A man's actions speak loudest when it comes to sacrifice. Let me tell you, we don't like missing out on things we want to do. If a man had plans to watch the game or hang out with his friends, but you call and say you need him, and he shows up without hesitation, that's not just a schedule change. That's him putting you above himself. That's his way of expressing love. He might not say, I gave this up for you, but you'll feel it in the way he prioritizes you over his own comfort. You'll also notice it in how he protects you. And I don't just mean physically, although if it came down to it, he'd step in without thinking twice. I mean protecting your feelings, protecting your time, protecting your peace. A man who loves you will be mindful of what he says, how he says it, and how his actions affect you. He'll want to shield you from unnecessary stress, and that comes from a place of deep care. When a man loves through actions, he's building a safe space for you without you even having to ask. He's looking out for you when you're not around. He's defending you when you're not there to hear it. He's making decisions with you in mind, even if he doesn't announce it. You might not see every little thing he does, but believe me, you'll feel the results of it. A man's love is in the effort. It's in him remembering to gas up your car when he notices it's low. It's in him walking you to your door, even if you live in the safest neighborhood in town. It's in him staying up late to make sure you got home okay. These might seem like small things, but for a man, they're big statements. They're his way of saying, you matter to me, I'm thinking about you, and I'm showing you without even having to open my mouth. Sometimes you don't need a man to write you poetry or sing you songs to know he loves you. Sometimes you just need to pay attention to the way he consistently chooses you through his actions. Because when a man loves you in that way, he's not just telling you, he's proving it day after day in ways that words could never match. Sometimes people think love is only shown in big dramatic ways, lavish gifts, surprise trips, grand speeches. But the truth is, the most real and powerful kind of love often hides in the smallest, quietest gestures. A man who's truly into you, who's got deep feelings for you, doesn't always broadcast it for the whole world to see. Instead, it's in the little things he does, the things you might overlook if you're not paying attention, that you'll find the clearest proof of what's going on in his heart. See, when a man is thinking about you, he's not just doing the obvious. He's not just showing up on your birthday or sending flowers on Valentine's Day. He's thinking about you in the in-between moments, when there's no holiday or special occasion, when there's no expectation. That's when you'll notice the subtle things, like the way he saves you the last bite of his meal, even if it's his favorite, or the way he tilts his umbrella toward you so you don't get wet, even if that means he's getting soaked. Those little moments, that's where you see the truth. You might catch him making small adjustments to his world just to make yours easier. Maybe he changes the temperature in the car to what you like without you asking. Maybe he remembers that you don't like onions and makes sure to order your food the right way every time. Maybe he notices you had a long day and quietly takes care of chores so you can rest. None of these things come with a big announcement, but they come from a place of care that words can't touch. And here's the thing, subtle gestures aren't about what's convenient for him. They're about what's best for you. A man might be tired from work, but if he's stopping by the store on the way home because he remembered you were out of something, that's not a chore in his mind. That's an opportunity to take care of someone who matters to him. Men don't do that for just anyone. You'll see it in the way he listens. Not just nodding along, but actually taking mental notes about the things you say. You could mention in passing that you've been wanting to read a certain book, and a week later it's in your hands. You might tell him about a childhood memory, and months later he surprises you with something that brings it back. Those aren't random coincidences. Those are intentional moves that come from a man who's been paying close attention to your heart. Sometimes his subtle gestures come through protection. It's not always about being a bodyguard. It's about making sure you feel safe and cared for. Maybe he walks on the side of the street, closer to traffic, without saying anything. Maybe he keeps an eye on you in a crowded place, so you're never uncomfortable. Maybe he takes the seat with the bad view at the restaurant so you can have the better one. None of this gets a speech, but all of it comes from love. And sometimes the deepest gestures are the quietest ones, like him sitting with you when you're upset, even if you're not ready to talk. Just being there, present, without trying to fix everything right away. That's a man saying, I'm here for you no matter what, without ever using those words. You might also notice the way he celebrates you in subtle ways, not just clapping when you get a promotion or win an award, but hyping you up when you doubt yourself, sending you a text before a big meeting just to say, you got this, smiling at you across the room like you're the most important person there, even when you're not doing anything special. That kind of support doesn't need an audience. It's personal, it's intentional, and it's from the heart. The beauty of subtle gestures is that they're not about showmanship. They're not about proving something to the world. They're about a man letting his actions speak quietly but consistently. You may not realize it in the moment, but when you look back, you'll see a trail of these little acts of care that all add up to something big. It's his way of saying, I think about you, I care about you, and you're important to me, without ever needing to say a single word. When a man is truly into you, it's not just about the grand gestures or the once-in-a-while surprises. The real sign you've got his heart is in the consistency. Any man can show up strong in the beginning. Any man can put on his best behavior for the first few weeks or months, but that's not the real test. The real test is time. It's about whether his attention stays the same long after the newness has worn off, long after the chase is over. That's when you find out what you really mean to him. A man who's serious about you doesn't just pop in and out of your life when it's convenient for him. He's there, steady, checking in, showing up, making sure you know he's present. It's in the way he makes time for you even when life gets busy. We all have responsibilities, jobs, friends, family, things that can pull us in 100 directions. But a man who cares doesn't let those things push you to the side. You don't have to beg him for attention because giving it to you is already his priority. Consistency is how you know he's not just playing a role. Anybody can act interested for a moment, but if he's keeping the same energy month after month, that's because his feelings are real. If he was calling you every day in the beginning, he's still calling you now. If he was taking you out, spending time, planning things together at the start, he's still doing that now. That's a man who isn't just trying to win you over, he's trying to keep you, and that takes effort. You'll see it in how he makes you feel secure. When a man's attention is consistent, you don't have to wonder where you stand. You're not left guessing when you'll hear from him next or whether he's still interested. You already know because he shows you daily. That kind of reliability builds trust, and trust is the foundation of everything. Even in the small things, his consistency will show. Maybe it's the way he texts you every morning just to say good morning. Maybe it's how he calls to wish you good night. Maybe it's the way he always asks how your day went and actually listens to your answer. These aren't random acts. They're habits he's built because you matter to him. Men don't make that kind of effort for people they don't care deeply about. It's also about being consistent through the ups and downs. Anybody can be there when everything's going great, but when life gets tough, that's when consistency really matters. If you're going through something stressful, if you're feeling low, if you're not at your best, and he's still showing up for you with the same care and attention as always, that's not just interest, that's love in action. And here's the truth. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. No man is going to get it right 100% of the time. But what it does mean is that even when he messes up, he corrects himself. He gets back on track because he doesn't want you to feel neglected or unimportant. He knows your value and he treats you in a way that reflects that every day. Men are creatures of pattern. If he's consistent with you, it's because you've become part of his pattern, part of his daily life, part of his world. That's not something men do casually. We don't rearrange our routines for just anyone. If he's doing it for you, it's because you're not just someone he likes, you're someone he wants to keep close. So when you're trying to figure out how a man really feels, don't just look at the big moments, look at the everyday ones. Look at the effort he puts in regularly, the way he makes you a steady part of his life. That's where you'll find the truth. Because when a man gives you consistent attention, he's not just passing time, he's making an investment in you. And men don't invest in something they're not planning to hold on to. One of the clearest ways you can tell a man's heart is wrapped up in you is by paying attention to what he remembers. See, a man who's emotionally invested in you isn't just hearing what you say, he's listening. And when a man listens, he keeps things in his mind that don't mean much to anybody else, but mean a whole lot to you. That's because your words, your stories, your likes and dislikes, they matter to him. They stay with him, and he uses them to connect with you in ways that go far beyond the surface. You might think you were just talking about your day, telling him about something small that happened at work or a random craving you had, but then a week later, he's bringing you that snack you mentioned, or he's asking how that project turned out. That's not by accident. That's intentional. That's him saying, I care enough to remember because you matter enough to me. It's in the way he notices changes about you, even when you don't point them out. You could get a haircut, try a different nail color, or wear a new perfume, and without missing a beat, he's pointing it out and telling you it looks good. That's because he pays attention to the details, not because he's trying to score points, but because the details are part of how he experiences you. When a man remembers the things that are important to you, he's telling you without words, I'm tuned in. Maybe you told him about a childhood memory, like how you and your